Okay. Let's go ahead. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you. Let's go ahead. We are in chapter of house property. Correct? Charging section, house property. 22. What do we tax? Annual value of building or land appurtenant. Appurtenant means attached there to annual value. How do you determine annual value? Section 23. What does it say? That NAV, net asset value, net annual value is what? Gross annual value, GAV, minus municipal taxes paid during the year by the owner. Correct, Elia? So how do we arrive at GAV? Correct? For that, but so what do we compare? Expected rent, actual rent, whichever is higher. So how do you calculate expected rent? Higher municipal valuation or fair rent, but not more than or subject to standard rent. Yes, remember that. Then we have seen rule 4 also. What was rule 4? Unrealized rent. I hope that also you remember. Okay. Then what else we have also covered now, Vacho? Actual rent or receivable. Okay. From there, we can also reduce vacancy loss. Tell me. Do you remember the concept of vacancy loss? Yes. Vacancy loss means what? That period out of the let out period. Okay. That period out of the let out period for which you are not able to get what? Rent. Why? Because the tenant has vacated. Okay. Because the tenant has what? Vacated. Clear? Even that is allowed to be reduced. Then, okay, we arrive at NAV. Then we could talk about section 24. 24 is what? Deductions only from house property. I'm repeating. Deductions is what? 24 is deductions only from house property. We can't use that section everywhere else. Okay. Then 24 is what? 30% of NAV. But as it is called as what? Standard deduction. It is called as standard deduction. Yes, everybody. At the rate of 30% of NAV. We'll go ahead, all of you. And 24B is what? Interest on borrowed capital. Yes, everybody? Interest on borrowed capital. All right. We'll go ahead. Just a minute. All right. Fine. Then let's talk about actual those deductions, municipal taxes and interest on borrowed capital. Municipal taxes bacho allowed on cash basis, payment basis. Correct? And interest bacho allowed on accrual basis. Correct till here? Fine. Then we talk about pre-concession period and pre-concession interest. Okay. What is pre-concession period? It starts from date of disbursement of loan. Correct? Ends on earlier of loan repayment date or 31st March preceding the date of construction completion. Yes, till here? I hope that is also clear. And whatever is the interest of pre-construction period, but of that we can take 1/5 from the year in which construction is completed. So total we can take for total 5 years. That also we had covered. Then we talked about types of property. We have self-occupied, also called as unoccupied. Then we have let out, and thirdly we have deemed to be let out. For deemed to be let out, whatever properties you have which are self-occupied actually, but if they are more than 2, okay, if they are more than 2, then all the properties, third property onwards, they will be deemed to be let out. So we have to show the income from those properties. Then if it is again self-occupied property, we don't allow municipal taxes deduction because GAV is nil. Understand now, for self-occupied properties, SOP, what are we taking? GAV is nil. Municipal tax is not allowed. Therefore, NAV becomes nil. Clear? Then we talk about let out property or deemed to be let out. Municipal taxes are allowed. All the deductions are allowed. So therefore, now next concept we talk about is ceiling limit on interest deduction. Section 24B. What is the upper limit of how much we can claim? So there are certain rules. Understand now. It depends on type of property. First is let out or deemed to be let out. There is no upper limit, no ceiling limit for 24B interest deduction. Clear? So there are upper limits in case of self-occupied properties. Now there are a couple of conditions. If all those conditions are satisfied, I'm repeating, if all those conditions are satisfied, only then the upper limit is 2 lakhs, ceiling limit is 2 lakhs. Otherwise, the ceiling limit becomes 30,000. Yes? Okay, Delia? What are the conditions? Property is self-occupied. The loan is taken for construction or acquisition only. Correct? Loan is taken on or after 1st April 1999. Then the construction or acquisition is completed within 5 years from the end of the financial year in which loan was borrowed and a certificate is given by the lender. Okay. Only if all these conditions are satisfied, bacho, your ceiling limit is what? 2 lakh rupees. Otherwise, the ceiling limit becomes 30,000. But whatever said and done, okay, whatever said and done, overall, in totality, your 24B interest deduction cannot be more than 2 lakh rupees. Is this clear? Okay. Then we went into some different cases also. Vacancy loss we have already covered. Then we covered a case where some part of the year the property was let out, and as well as in the same year it was also self-occupied. The effect of that becomes what, bacho? We consider it as let out for the entire year. We consider it as let out for the entire year. Okay, pay attention. It means what? Step number 1, expected rent we calculate for the entire year. Municipal tax allowed for the entire year. Yes or no, everybody? And again, ceiling limit is not applicable, 24B. Okay. So even if you have earned rent, let us say for 6 months, I'm just giving you an example. Actual rent you have received for 6 months, but you will be calculating but your expected rent for entire 12 months. Okay, Delia? And in a way, another advantage over here is what? The property is considered as let out. Therefore, 24B, ceiling limit will be there or not be there? It will not be there. Because it is considered as what? Let out property. Yes, Delia? This cases we had covered. Yes? You've done, I hope you have done lots of practice about ceiling limits also. Okay? Yes, Delia? All right. So let's take some another question. Question number 12. Question number 12. Ready, everybody? Question number 12. Sure. Ready? Let's read the question first. Everyone. Purna has 1 HP at Indira Nagar in Bangalore. Indira Nagar, that Rahul Dravid was doing that advertisement, remember? Indira Nagar ka gunda hu main. Anyways, only 1 HP. Okay, here we have 1 HP in Bangalore. She stays with her family in the house. What kind of property is this, bacho? Answer quickly. Very good, Khushbu. Very good. Yes. It is SOP, self-occupied property. Clear till you? Good. Nice. Understand. Now, please understand properly. The rent of similar property in the neighborhood, this much you understand? Similar property nearby is 25,000 rupees. What is this 25,000 rupees? From our house property point of view, what is the technical term for this? Why it is given? Very good, Mansi. Is it fair rent or standard rent or municipal valuation rent? You don't read all the words in the textbook, hai na? All of you. What is fair rent? Fair market value means what? Remember now? Arre baapre. What is MVFR subject to SR? What are the full forms? Huh? Khushbu? MVFR subject to SR. Rent which similar property can get. Fetch means get in the same or similar locality. Okay. Obviously, you ask in the society or in this area how much rent is going on. If I am staying at a place which takes 25,000, so obviously remaining flats in the same building, in the same society are going to take that much only near around. Isn't it? Correct, Ilya? So municipal, in a way, but you understand, out of these 3 rents, municipal valuation is given by government valuation. Standard rent is also given as in the statute. Standard rent is given as the statute means what? In the act. Statute means act. Correct? Only fair rent is something kind of subjective. Subjective, do you understand subjective? What do you mean by subjective? Increase, enhance your vocabulary. Come on. What do you mean by subjective? Differs from person to person. Very good, Mansi. Subjective means differs from, it can be different from person to person because it is an opinion. It is what bacho kind of an opinion or a judgment. It is not something standard law. How do you find a tax? Some may say boring, some may say interesting, some may say easy, some may say difficult. That is subjective opinion, isn't it? So fair rent is something similar. What are you getting in the nearby area? Clear till here? But municipal valuation and standard rent are given by law. Clear cut numbers are given. Yes, till here? We'll go ahead. Chalo. Fair rent means what? Rent of a similar property in the neighborhood area. Neighbor, you understand? Neighborhood means nearby. Neighbors. Okay, neighboring area. Let's go ahead. So that whatever figure what it was fair rent. Okay, fair rent. Fine. So I'm just writing for your understanding here. FR. The municipal valuation is rupees 23,000 per month. MV, municipal valuation. Municipal taxes paid is rupees 8,000. Obviously, but municipal taxes, property taxes are for the year. Clear? The house was constructed in the year 2011 with a loan of 20 lakhs taken from SBI. The house was constructed in the year August 11. I'll be asking you very basic questions. That means, Bacho, tell me, house property, this head of income itself is applicable from 11-12 financial year, because house property was constructed in August 11. Clear till here? Okay. With loan taken as 20 lakhs from SBI. Okay. The construction was completed, however, sorry, the data is different now. The construction was completed on 30th 11-19. Here you can make some changes. The house began construction. Make some changes. The construction began in August 11. Okay. But got completed when, Bacho? In November 19. Okay. November 19. So 1920 is the first year of house property. Okay. All right. The accumulated interest up to 31st March 19. Be careful. When was the construction completed? 30th November 19. And they are talking about till 31st March 19 accumulated interest. Is some ready-made figure given to you? Nitin, Khushbu, Indrajit, Mansi. This 1,50,000 is what now? Obviously, I'll expect answers from you. I'm not teaching you something new now. What is this 1,50,000? Very good, Mansi. I want a technical term, Indrajit. Even I want technical term in Nitin. What is it exactly? I know it is interest. I know it is loan, obviously, but where should I put it? Where should I exactly consider it? It is current year or pre-construction or both? It is, Bacho, pre-construction. Okay, all of you, they have given till 31st March. All right. During the current year, 22-23. Understand, pay attention now, Bacho. During the current year, Purna paid 2,40,000, which included 1,80,000 as interest. So obviously they are talking about loan. So the loan repaid during the year was 2,40,000. Okay, loan repaid. I'm talking about her EMIs, etc. Out of the 2,40,000, 1,80,000 is interest only. So remaining will be what? 60,000 rupees. Very good, Mansi.
Sir, current year interest.
What? 1,80,000.
No, sir, 60.
Current year interest. Acha. You can have different logic. I agree. People can have different point of view. Okay, that accumulated interest is 1,50,000. Now, accumulated interest, bachcho, pay attention. She may be repaying loan, etc. also. From the year whichever 2011 she had taken the loan till 2019, etc. She may be repaying that. The total interest accrued during the period is 1,50,000. This one I'm talking about. That is obviously given to you so that you don't have to calculate, etc. In a way, it is a ready-made figure of pre-construction period. Okay. In the current year, if she has repaid 2,40,000 in totality to the bank, and they are saying also that 1,80,000 is interest, So remaining is any answer, Nitin, Kushbu? Okay, fine. Leave it. My mistake. I'm expecting too much from you. When you repay loan or when you pay EMI, 20,000 rupees is entirely 20,000 rupees interest. Then what are the components then when you repay an EMI? In an EMI, what all are covered? Exactly. Correct. Principal and interest. So when she is repaying 2,40,000, 1,80,000 is interest. That means what? Remaining 60,000 was what? Principal. Okay. Shall I write down? Again, we are not doing any new concept in this question, isn't it? This is only for your understanding. Pay attention. See, Purna pays what bank? EMI, let us say. Rupees 2,40,000. Khushbu, okay till here? This 2,40,000 has now two components or two parts. This is for your understanding. Obviously, we are not presenting answer this way. Okay. 1,80,000. So therefore, something is balanced, 60,000. Now they are seeing here under very important, very important. Interest, this is interest component. So this is principal. Fine till here? All right. Now interest is allowed as deduction under section bacho. B, and principal component is allowed as deduction under section 80C. Yes, still all of you? Are you getting my point? This is very important now. I mean, again, something we are doing something extra over here. Principal repaid is allowed as deduction under section 80C. 80C, I hope this much so now you know. 80C is part of chapter 6A deduction. And 80C or chapter 6A, we reduce it from gross total income. That means in a way, this component of principal can be reduced from any income. Why any income? Are you getting my point? Because we are allowed to reduce it from gross total income. Gross total income means what? But all the income, salary, house property, capital gain, your business income, income from other sources, isn't it? So now understand, try to understand. A salaried person, majority of the cases in our life. Okay, I'm saying again majority, not always, but majority. Whoever around us are doing jobs or are getting salary and they are repaying home loan. They are repaying bacho home loan. Okay. Can I put a very general case, very simple case? Okay, normal case. Let us say you also, by the age, let us say you will be 30, etc. You will have 2-3 house properties. I don't know if it is there, good point. But let us say you get one house property for yourself. You want to be independent. Okay. You get your own house property. Agreed. You are doing a job. Okay. Look at, I'm just giving you two normal scenarios. You're doing a job. So you're having a salary. You're getting regular salary. And for basically for staying purpose to be independent, you purchase a house property. Clear? Your salary income will go under salary head of income. Simple. Salaries will be shown under income from salaries. Now you have a house property where you are staying. One house property where you are staying. Clear till here? Self-occupied property. Obviously, nobody has 50 lakhs, 1 crore rupees as savings. Correct till here? So yes, obviously you have also what, bacho? Not earned. You have taken a loan, which you are repaying. Clear till here? So you will claim 20/B interest deduction, isn't it? Whatever interest accrued during the year. Whatever interest accrued during the year. And normally 20/B you will claim the deduction. But do you have income from house property? No. Because you yourself are staying there. It is self-occupied property, bacho. SOP. Isn't it? Clear till here? Fine. But principal also you will be able to claim. under chapter 60 ATC. That means that principal amount will get reduced actually practically in the example from your salary income also, isn't it? Are you getting my point? So if it is SOP, understand, if you purchase a property, it is SOP. GAV nil, municipal tax is not allowed, NAV nil, 24A will automatically be 0 and only 24B will be allowed. Now tell me, bacho, in a normal case, 24B, for SOP, what is the ceiling limit? 2 lakh rupees, isn't it? 2 lakh rupees. Currently, all of you, है ना? Understand, okay? I think I'd give you an example. So we'll take a very simple example. Let us say, okay? Obviously, we're talking about some hypothetical scenarios. 75 lakhs agreement value. I'll tell you about remaining things also when we'll go in the chapter of capital gains. Let us say you're buying a property of 75 lakhs. Agreement value. Now, this agreement value means this amount will go to the builder. Okay. On that, you have to charge GST if it is your under construction property, and minimum, or actually right now, 6% stamp duty and other registration charges. Okay, that goes under, or you can take, you can take it almost what, 3 almost, etc. Other miscellaneous expenditure will go up to 82 lakhs. Okay, clear everybody? Fine. Understand. Loan is given on agreement value, not on the entire amount paid to the government, because this is your government taxes. So loan is given based on the agreement value. Clearly, everybody? All right. The loan maximum is around 80 or 85%, depends on again on bank to bank, of the agreement value. Okay. So even if I reduce 10% out of this, 67.5, okay. Let us say, bacho, you took a loan of 65 lakhs loan. 10 lakhs somehow you managed, you gave out of your savings, 65 lakhs loan. Okay. And let us say first year, understand now. First year, bacho, your home loan, what you can say, interest, the rate of interest is around 8%. So this is 65 into 8% is how much? 5.2 lakhs. Is what? 5.2 lakhs is what, bacho? Is interest. I am talking only about interest, isn't it, everybody? For the year, now, obviously. For the year. Clear till year? 5.2 lakhs accrued for the year. Okay. Obviously, we're not doing the best or the perfect calculation right now. It is only for our basic understanding. Okay. We'll go ahead, all of you. But how much will be able to claim? Entire, not entire, but ceiling limit of 2 lakh rupees. Understood earlier, all of you? That is actually the practical scenarios always. I'm talking of practical scenarios. Clear? Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, chalo. I hope this much was clear. What happens with Purna? Her interest is allowed as 24B and principal amount is allowed as 80C. Had we written anywhere 80C ceiling limit also 80C? No, no, we have not written anywhere. No? Fine, no issue. Chalo. Let's write down the case for Purna. Let's finish your question. Compute Purna's income from HP. That's it. Very simple question, I guess. Chalo, write down computation of. AY 23-24. If we take loan of 10 lakh rupees, okay, and financer says what? Particulars, rupees. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve in the rough. You can solve it in the rough. Right, bacho. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve. Give me direct final answer of income from house property. Financer says that interest is 10% is for 1 year. हाँ तो You can take only from bank, financial institution, that loans are allowed as deduction, not everything. I mean, no person loan, etc. They don't directly allow that. That's why they have given this, you can say, ceiling limit, how much deduction you can claim. Solve it, all of you. No, it is on reducing balance. The interest is charged on reducing balance. Okay, I got some answers. Okay. No answer? It's calculating, no? Fine. Question number 12 you are doing, huh? All of you. Okay. Okay. 24,400 I'm getting a lot. Okay, then 174,400. Okay, and Nitin, कोई answer? $34,000. ठीक है. All right. These are some of the answers I got from you. Income from house property. Okay. If at all you pay attention to what I say closely, then you would have realized. You would have realized that your answer is of just 2-3 lines. Actually. Okay. Just 2-3 lines. Or in fact, honestly, it is just 1-line answer. And there is no income, there is loss. There is no income, there is loss. Because the property is self-occupied. For self-occupied bacho, GAV, NAV, everything is nil. Only you have 24B. And 24B, bacho, your answer is what? Whatever interest is accrued or whatever it is allowed. Subject to again SOP, self-occupied property. Subject to whatever the limits are given. Right, everybody? So there is no income. First of all, there is what? Loss. Clear to all of you? Are hi, na? Everybody. Because NAV is because fair rent is given, municipal valuation is given. Don't start calculating expected rent. Look at the type of property. I have discussed everything. Was there any googly or something which I have hidden? Nothing. Everything was given to you. Correct? That's why you have to be very little bit sharp. Look at the data given in the question. It was self-occupied property. In a way, I gave you hint. I discussed also the practical example. I discussed also with you. Okay. For self, I was talking about your example only. What you don't have income, you have in fact what but your loss of because of 24B. Okay. Sure. Write down. GAV. Okay. I'm writing a since self-occupied property, bachcho GAV is nil. Is nil. Yes, still here. Then municipal taxes are also everything is given to you. Municipal taxes paid. Proper full, they are in full mode, ready mode to fool you. Municipal taxes paid. But allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. I'm writing here again in bracket. Not allowed for SOP, self-occupied property. Therefore, obviously, our NAV is what? Nil. Less, what do we say then? Deduction under section 24. A, but will it be there? Obviously not. It is standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. Correct? And B, but interest on borrowed capital. Working note number 1. Okay, you will say why working note? Because then you can give me answers. If you are very sure of your answer, you can give me your answer. Do you want again me to give you some time to give me this answer? Interest on borrowed capital. I can give you time. Okay. So that also I'll give you time. No problem. I'm giving you time. Calculate and give me interest reduction. What figure I have to write down over here? It is loss. Okay. The main answer is loss. Give me interest on borrowed capital 24B deduction number. Mansi, Khushbu, Indrajit, tell me. Nitin. Not so easy question anymore. Good, Mansi. Okay, Indrajit. You guys are reading question na properly. I'm discussing also question. Nitin, Khushbu. Very good, Nitin. ठीक है. You are close. Khushbu, any answer? नहीं समझा तो पूछो कुछ. If you don't understand, ask me. Okay, let's go ahead. Interest on borrowed capital. ठीक है. Particulars rupees. Generally, now regularly you'll have two types of interest. One is current year interest, another is pre-construction interest. Okay, I'm currently writing current year interest. One lakh 80,000 for the current year given to you. Current year, no problem. And second will be which one, bacho? Pre-construction interest. Pre-construction period interest. Pre-construction period interest bacho given to you is 1,50,000. No, I'm not again going to details. Okay, what is pre-construction period interest? You know that. Okay. So rupees totally accrued is how much? 1,80,000, correct? No. 1,50,000, I think. 1,50,000. Do we allow entire 1,50,000? No. So we allow 1/5 of it. Correct? That is what? 30,000 rupees? Correct, no? But from which year to which year? Tell me, from which PY? I wanted to give me answer properly. Yeah? 30,000 per year will be allowed, and we know it is allowed for 5 years. From which year? Look in the question and tell me. From which year? Come on, all of you. Tell me the financial year or PY in from which it will be allowed as 1/5. Khushbu, this much you can answer. Give me 18, 19, 17, 18. What? Which financial year will be allowed from current Indrajit? 19, 20. No. See, I hope you made the correction over here. The construction began in 11, na? August 11. When was the construction completed? The construction was completed on 30th November 19. Yes, everybody. So you are allowed bacho pre-construction period interest from the year in which construction was completed. Construction was completed on 30th 11/19. That is financial year 1920. That is financial year 1920. Yes, everybody. Khushbu, do you remember the law, the rules? The pre-construction period interest is allowed as 1/5 from the year in which construction was completed. From PY 1920. To PY, very important, because you have to see that also now, whether our current year is part of it or no. From 19, obviously it is part, but check 1920 is the first year, no? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, PY 23, 24. Agreed or no? Our current year is which one? 22, 23. So are we allowed? Yes, we are allowed. How much we are allowed in the current year? Belonging to pre-construction, 30,000. Tell me all of you. Understood? Therefore, total interest accrued. Accrued means eligible. I am writing here the word eligible. For our current year, AY 23-24. 2,10,000. But why did you give Nitin answer 30,000 or 31,000? Why? Mansi, your logic is correct. Your answer is right. I know that. But why Nitin? 30,000, 31,000, you give me that answer. You can unmute. No. Achha, no. Then that the logic was wrong. Understand. Please understand, bacho. Now check. What is my figure given here? 2,10,000. Can I write down over here 2,10,000? Interest on borrowed capital. No. I cannot write down 2,10,000. Why? Whenever you take bacho 24B, understand please now some basic things. Whenever you are calculating 24B for self-occupied, what should come to your mind is also ceiling limits. 2 lakhs, Indrajit, wrong answer. Subject to ceiling limit. Kuch you understood earlier? 2,10,000 is eligible, but we cannot take that entire amount of 2,10,000 because we have to look at the ceiling limit. For self-occupied, there are only two ceiling limits. 30,000 and 2 lakhs. I feel I'm repeating this for the 10th time now. When do you get 2 lakh? Property self-occupied. Tell me one more tick mark. Check. Check. Check means what? It is correct in the question. So property self-occupied correct. Was the loan taken for construction? Yes. Harihayana construction. Okay. Then third case, property construction was completed within 5 years from the end of the financial year in which loan was taken. This is not, but check, or you can say satisfied. The loan was taken on August 11. So what is the financial year ending, bacho? 31st March 12. From there, 5 years is how much? 17, nothing. 31st March, na? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Was my property considered up to or by 31st March 17? No. It was considered in some November 19. Isn't it, everybody? Harihayana. Clear, no? So that rule is, or that point is not satisfied. Not satisfied, that's simple. Therefore, what will you say? Ceiling limit is what? 30,000 rupees. Clear, Delia? Write down. Point number 1. House property is self-occupied property. No problem. Second, loan is also for construction. That condition also satisfied. Loan is for construction. That one point I missed actually. Loan is taken after 1/4/1999. Hai na? Loan is for construction borrowed. That point I missed. After 1/4/1999. Right, Delia? I hope you're understanding how in detail you have to read, how in detail it impacts your answer and affects your answer. Right? But third one important. Construction to be completed within how many years? Within 5 years of end of loan taking financial year. Hai na? Of loan taking financial year. Clear, Delia? All of you? Of loan taking financial year. that is 31/3/2012. Okay. Till 31st March 2017. Full stop. However, construction was completed on 30th November 19. है ना? Therefore, condition not satisfied. Therefore, what ceiling limit is applicable now? 30,000. The actual deduction is what, but lower of 30,000 or interest eligible 2,10,000. Okay. That also you have to see, huh, bacho? Whichever is lower. Khushbu, understood till here? Tell me. Zabardast rainfall. Zabardast. Too much of rainfall, actually. Anyways, let's go ahead, everybody. So, how much we are claiming deduction? 30,000. Okay. So, answer is what? Loss from house property. At your area, there is no rainfall. I'll send some rainfall from here. It's too much, actually, honestly. Clear, all of you? One thing can you keep in mind now? Come on, basic, very basic thing. If the property is self-occupied and there is loan, interest on interest, it will result into loss. I am repeating. If the property is self-occupied and there is interest on loan, it will result into loss. If the property is self-occupied, okay, and there is interest on the loan, it will result into loss. Clear? Good. I'll go ahead. And then you have to be just careful what limit is applicable. All right. And this example, in fact, is the most practical example in real life. You will see many people around you, they have one property or let us say even two properties. Okay. And if it is self-occupied, it is in fact loss from the property. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll do another case. So part of the year as self-occupied and part of the year as let out. That already got covered. We consider it as let out for the entire year. Agreed. Next one. Next case. Come on. Concepts of PG. PG, you know PG. Paying guest. Correct. At times there are cases of bungalows. The ground floor is occupied by owners. Right. And the first floor is given on rent. Or one room only extra is given on rent. And remaining is self-occupied. Yes or no, everybody? Clear? Everybody? They may have a different or separate entrance. But whatever said and done, one property is self-occupied also as well as let out also. That also case we have. What did I say? One single property, but important. One single property. Part of the property is for the entire year let out. I'm repeating. What did I say? One part of the property is one only. So one part of it is what? Let out. And remaining part is self-occupied. Clear, Delio? Will have lots of bacho cases. Don't forget. Don't worry. We'll have all the permutation combinations. Case 3. Okay, ready everybody? Sure. Case 3. In case of a house property, a portion is let out. Correct. Yeah, Indrajit, correct. And a portion is self-occupied. In old, you can see buildings also, 3 or 4 floors, 1 or 2 flats are given on the rent, remaining are self-occupied. You know, that way. Okay, everybody. In case of a house property, a portion is let out and a portion self-occupied. Check. Income from any portion or part of property which is let out shall be computed. You received the rainfall. No, I told you. Shall be computed separately under the let out property category, and another portion or part which is SOP shall be computed under the SOP category. Means what? Property is only one. The entire total property is one, let us say, but is bifurcated into some SOP and some let out. Basically, it's a very simple case. Apportionment. Do you understand apportionment? Apportion. Means bifurcation of SOP as well as let out. There is no need to treat the whole property as a single unit for computation of income from HP. That means one single unit, one property can also be categorized under 2 categories, SOP as well as let out. One property itself, the same property will be let out, the same property will also be SOP, but we'll just do the bifurcation, the ratio between the properties. Municipal valuation, fair rent, standard rent, etc., if not given separately, shall be apportioned between let out and SOP. On what basis? Obviously on built up basis, that is space, your carpet area, etc., or on such other reasonable basis. If there are 2 rooms, one is self-occupied, one is let out, what ratio will take? 1:1 equally. If there are 4 rooms, one room is given on rent, how will you bifurcate then? 3:1. Are hi na, all of you. Kushbu understood? Okay. So basically, whatever calculation we'll do, we will make them now separate cases. Property taxes, again, if given on consolidated basis, will be bifurcated. Again, on the reasonable basis, means again, based on number of rooms or area. That you have to keep in mind. All right. Come to question number 20. Such kind of rainfall, then I never know when the lights can go. Let's start, bacho. All right. $25.18. Okay, everybody. Like I said, we always write the case. This is what case 4, I think, or 3. Chalo, 3. Page 5.7 or something. Just check quickly. Portion, SOP and let out. And what do we do in that case? Apportion. Okay, but so we do apportionment. Fine. Ready? Chalo. Let's read the question. Prem owns a house in Madras. During the year, 2/3 of the house was SOP. Okay. And 1/3 was let out. 2/3 SOP, 1/3 let out. Again, they have already given you the basis now. Clear, Delia? For residential purpose. And the rent obviously is 8,000 rupees per month. Use common sense that 8,000 rupees is for the entire house. Tell me. Yes or no? Obviously, no, it is only for that 1/3 portion. Correct? Okay. Municipal valuation of the entire house is 3 lakh. Fair rent is 2,70,000. Standard rent is 3,30,000 for the year, for the entire property. He paid municipal taxes at the rate of 10% of municipal value. A loan of 25 lakhs was taken by him during the year 17 for acquiring the property. interest on loan paid during the current year is 1,20,000. Other details you don't have. So don't even go into that concession, reconcession, etc. We just have simple current year our interest, 1,20,000. Okay. But the property is what? SOB as well as let out. Understood till here? Compute claims income from HP for AY 23, 24. Ready, steady, pop. Okay, chalo, write down. Yes, very good, Indrajit. For SOP, you will get loss. Correct. Computation of. Computation of income from HP of Mr. Prem, of Prem. For AY 23, 24. Okay. Particulars. SOP rupees. Let out rupees. Yes. Now I'm here doing the apportionment. Hai na? But please will write down the basis also. Basis means what? SOP they've already given you how much? SOP is 2/3 of everything. And let out is 1/3. Yes. All okay, here, all of you? Tell me. All right, let's go ahead. What do we start with? Obviously, first with GAV calculation. Okay, don't forget GAV calculation. All right. It is higher or of MV or FR subject to SR. Now, if you do for the entire property only once, that is fine. No? And then we will apportion. What I'm trying to tell you, instead of apportioning three things, municipal valuation, fair rent, and standard rent. Are you getting my point, Bacho? We'll do what only? For the entire property. Because GAV for SOP is nil. So we'll calculate for the property and we'll just do into 1/3 for let out part. Arey haan, tell me. Okay, let's go ahead. So higher of municipal valuation or fair rent subject to standard rent. This is your first part. In fact, sorry, you can write on your expected rent. Okay, this is your expected rent. You know, sure. I'm doing for the property. Don't forget, please. Acha, municipal valuation. I can see 3 lakhs. Okay. Fair rent 2,70,000. And lower of 3 lakh and standard rent is 330. Okay. So 3 lakhs. Can I tell you? Don't even by mistake write any figure in SOP for GAV. Nothing in GAV, isn't it? Now here, what will I write on Bacho? 3 lakhs is for the property. We have to apportion now. Hai na? Distribute. This comes to 1 lakh. Clear? Step 2. Actual rent. Use common sense. Actual rent received or receivable. Only obviously for the let out part. Hai na? How much have we given it on rent for? 8,000 something? Yes, per month. Have they complicated the story yet with vacancy loss or unrealized rent? That will also come into picture. Right now, it is not there. It is just getting interesting and interesting, isn't it? Khushbu is saying, kya interesting, sir? Nothing interesting. 96. What if they mix it? 10 months let out and 2 months then achha, no tenant. We will occupy. That can also come into picture. You are like, oh, slur, let us at least first finish this, hai na? Therefore, GAV. For SOP is always nil. And this is what? 1 lakh. Less what, bacho? Municipal taxes paid by owner during the year. Correct? Do we allow for SOP? We don't allow. Do we allow for let out? Yes, but we will allow only what to what? Let out part. Correct. How much is municipal taxes paid? Understand now. He paid municipal taxes at 10% of municipal value. So I am writing the figure here. 10% of municipal valuation is 3 lakhs. Correct, no? Is 30,000 for the entire year? Huh? Is 30,000 for the entire property? So 30,000 bacho again into what? 1/3. Is it okay, everybody? 10,000. It is less. Keep that in bracket. What do we arrive at? NAV. Till NAV for SOP, by default, you have to arrive at nil. And this is how much? 90,000. Fine, Delia. Less reduction under section. (24A). Standard reduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. 27. B. Interest on borrowed capital. Yes, Delia. They have not complicated the case currently. Current interest is 1,20,000. So I'll apportion that. I told you many times, whatever figure you write in the computation, give the explanation. Okay, don't just write 27. Whatever. What is the figure into 2/3? 80 and 40. No? Give the justification of that number. You'll have both the cases, income as well as loss, isn't it? $80, and this is how much? Let out 23. 90 minus 27 minus 40. Yes, tell you all of you. Therefore, see, property is only one single, no? So you have to write down the total for the assessee. So this is positive, no? Sorry. This is income, no? 23,000, sorry. Correct, no? This is loss. This is profit. 57. Yeah. Yeah, that is loss basically. Done. We'll do more interesting cases or no? I can take one concept, one question, and then I'll give it. I'll go or skip ahead. Then that is not the point of joining the classes, isn't it? Then that you could have done from study material also. Okay. Sure. Let's do some variety. Exam. Don't forget, exams. Ultimately, you are going in that exam hall. I am not going. So you have to be prepared in such a way that you will be confident. That will come only after your own practice. Make mistakes, learn from it. If everything ready-made is given, then you are not using a brain. Question number 21. Yes, most likely same case. Yeah. Ready? Okay, Nitra. Mr. Krishna owns a residential house in Delhi. Okay. The house is having two identical units. How many houses are there? How many houses are there? All of you. There is only one house. Good. And that one house is divided into two parts. Okay, everybody? That one house is divided into two parts. Okay, good. Units they have said, no? First unit of the house is self-occupied. They're using the word identical units means what? Same to same. So basically it is, can I say half? I'll use the word half. Hai na? Is it okay to you? The first unit of the house is self-occupied by Krishna, and another unit is given on rent for 12,000 per month. So it is, yes, one house into two parts. The rented unit was vacant. Nice. The rented unit was vacant for 3 months during the year. The particulars of the house for the year are as follows. Standard rent for the house. SR, standard rent, municipal corporation, fair rent. Municipal tax, 60% paid by Mr. Krishna and 40% paid by tenant is 12% of municipal valuation. Very interesting. Light and water charges, interest on borrowed capital, insurance charges, painting expenses, maintenance charges recovered from tenant, compute income from house property of Mr. Krishna for AY 23-24. Yes, Celia? Calculate till NAV. Chalega, na? Fine. Calculate till NAV. And then obviously we'll go ahead or we'll solve it together. One, I'll just quickly give you the format. Computation of income from HP of Krishna. Can I take, I'll take one half, bachcho. Okay. So try bachcho. Till let others you can say NAV. Those who are watching from pen drive, etc., you can stop the video. Okay, pause the video and solve, and then go ahead. Only NAV. Find only NAV. Correct. बस NAV find करो. Find calculate बच्चों. Come on, all of you. NAV. Any answers? I'll give you a hint. Very big hint. NAV of self-occupied property bachcho will be how much? Nil. Okay, that was a big hint for you. Calculate for a let out, that means. Okay, Khushbu. And yeah, NAV only I want. Nitin, come on. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead. These are some kind of different answers I got. To like 3,000, 99,000, 92,000 almost, 62,000. Okay, these figures I got. Okay. Pen drive students also, or those who are watching on app, will pause the video. Okay. And do it on your own and then you will go ahead. Chalo. Let's go ahead, everybody. Sure, let's start. One of the answers here is correct. Okay. Sometimes it happens, none of it is correct, but one of the answer is correct. Okay. Chalo. Let's go ahead. GAV calculation. Obviously, first is your expected rent. Higher of MV FR subject to SR. We calculate for the property. MV 244. Okay, I'm writing 2.44. Okay. And MV or FR is 2.35. Higher is 2.44. Lower of 2.44 lakhs. And standard rent is 2.2. So expected rent is 2,20,000. So again, here we are taking dash, but here 2,20,000 into half. So 110, everybody, is your expected rent. Correct? Then we talk about actual rent. But now I'm here using the word receivable, etc. This part, obviously, I'm not getting rent. Yes or no? So for the let out part, I'm getting how much actual rent. It was let out for 12,000 rupees. There is a vacancy loss. So first I'll take for entire 12 months and then I'll reduce the vacancy loss. Okay. 12,000 into 12 months. Correct, no? Be careful. 12, 144. Currently, 144 is higher than 1,10,000. Okay. Then what do we write next step? There is a vacancy loss bachcho of 3 months. Okay. So rupees 12,000 into 3 months. 36. Yes or no, all of you? And because of that, this figure comes to 108. No, 44. 4 and 4. 1,08,000. All of you? Tell me. Clear till here? All of you tell me. How much GAV have you taken for let out part? 1,10,000. All of you tell me. All of you. What have you actually taken? What had you actually taken? I want that answers. Did you make mistake or you took what? So 1,10,000 bachcho is wrong answer. What you should have taken? 1,08,000 GAV. Even if it is lower. Why? Because it is lower because of vacancy loss. Yes, till here, all of you. Huh? So GAV. I'm taking 1,08,000. Very important, bachcho. Why 1,08,000? Even if it is lower because it is lower than step 1 because of vacancy loss. Okay. Clear till here? Since step 2 is lower due to vacancy loss. Clear? That's why we'll take, even if it is lower, we'll take that as gross annual value. Clear? Fine. Let's go ahead. Next one is what? Less, obviously, municipal taxes. So give me this figure at least. Type in the comment section. We know it is not allowed for a self-occupied property. Give me the figure of municipal taxes you have taken for let out part. For let out part. Kushbu, correct? Kushbu, your answer is right. Your final answer was also right. For let out part, municipal taxes. हाँ विष्णु बहुत बारिश हो रही है भयंकर बारिश हो रही है too much of rain. You're not going to class then Vishnu, yeah, you have a good reason na, to be at home and eat vada pav. Paid by owner. हाँ खुशबू अपने Mansi, any answer? I think you typed over, I don't know. Only for municipal taxes. Okay. Now understand. First, use again common sense. First, find the eligible municipal taxes for the entire property. Okay. Now check. Municipal taxes is 12% of municipal value. Agree till you understand? Very important now. This is an important adjustment. 12% of municipal value. Municipal valuation is how much? 2,44,000. Correct till you? However, this entire whatever municipal taxes are not paid by owner. 60% is paid only by owner. And we allow bachcho only the one which is paid by owner. Clear till here? First, give me this figure. 17,568. Okay. This is eligible for the property. And of that, we take 1/2. Understood? Sir, Activa कैसे निकाल पाऊंगा ऐसे बारिश में? हाँ, correct. Yeah, Vishnu. Come by car ना then. है ना? 70,568 into 1 by 2. Correct, Elia? How much is that? 8784. All of you got it till here? Tell me. So this was also an important adjustment. Any doubt, ask me. Okay, see, it is percentage of municipal valuation. That was okay. But how much is paid by owner? That is also important, no? So whatever is paid by owner, that is eligible. And that whatever is eligible, of that we do apportionment between self-occupied and let out. Okay. Okay, Vishnu. I hope it stops raining. All right. What do we arrive at, bacho? NAV now. SOP has to be nil, no doubt about it. But 1,08,000 minus 8784. 99,216. Khushbu got it right. Good, Khushbu. Okay. Next one, what, bacho? Obviously, then less deduction under section 24A. 24. So 99,216 into 30%. Give me. 99,000 into 216. 99,216 into 30%. अच्छा वो भी सही था. Okay. What you did then? अच्छा you do. I was asking NAV na. And B बच्चों what? Interest on borrowed capital. Is 2,000 rupees per month. $24,000 for the year. So here will take half again, 12,000. And here will take 12,000 half. Yes, still simple. So we have income oblique loss from house property. SOB is negative, no doubt about it. Loss. This is what 57, 451, 99,216 minus 29,765 minus 12,000. Correct? 57, 451. Therefore, total income from house property. $45, no? Done, everybody? One more before the break, or you want to break now? One more. Fine, all of you. $24, 5.19. 24. Ready, everybody? Rajesh owns a house in Hyderabad during the previous year, 22-23, current year. Three-fourth of the house was SOP, three-fourth SOP, one-fourth let out for residential purpose. Let out, you let out for any purpose. That is not our case. That is not our concern. 12,000 rupees per month rent. The tenant vacated the property on 20th February 2023, obviously. Okay. That means 1 month there can be vacancy loss. The property was vacant for the month of March 23. Correct, Ilya? Rent for the months of Jan 23 to Feb 23. That means 2 months. Could not be realized in spite of owner's efforts. All conditions of Rule 4 are satisfied. Municipal valuation, fair rent, standard rent is given for the property. He paid municipal taxes of 10% of municipal value. Loan of 30 lakhs was taken by him during the year 2008 for acquiring the property. Interest on the loan repaid in the current year was 1,48,000. No problem. Compute Rajesh income for HP for AY 23-24. Calculate, bachcho. Give me NAV. Give me, bachcho, NAV. Again, I'll give you the format. Now it is just one single question, one property, but two parts, SOP as well as let out. So we'll again make two columns for 3/4 and 1/4. Okay, so computation now. Of Rajesh. SOP and let out. SOP how much? 3/4. So let out 1/4. And rupees. Fine. Calculate NAV. Pen drive students, offline app students, whoever watching video lecture students, pause the video. Calculate this. Okay. Come at the answer and then again you restart the video. Okay. तुम लोग भी चलो चालू करो. NAV till SOP बच्चों is what? You know it is nil. तो let out के तुमको calculate करना है. You have to calculate for let out only. Right? भगवान. Okay, Niraj. Okay, Mansi. ओके खुशबू, नितिन, टाइपिंग मिस्टेक नहीं है ना खुशबू? ठीक है। Some answers I got 88,000, 98,000. Okay. 4 lakh something also I got answers. Okay, for any. Let's start. Chalo. What do you calculate first? Obviously, बच्चों GAV calculation. Under that first one, expected rent, higher of MV or fair rent, subject to standard rent. Higher municipal valuation is how much for the property? 4 lakhs. I'm writing 4 here. Or fair rent is what? 4.4. Higher is 4.4. Lower of 4.4. Or standard rent is 4.8. So lower we want 4.8. Therefore, expected rent is rupees. हाँ कुछ correct. 4.4 lakhs. Okay, everybody. Obviously, we are not giving anything to SOP. Correct, Ilya? So we have to apportion, na, Nitin. So 4.4 lakhs into 1/4. How much? 1,10,000, all of you? Nitin, why didn't you apportion? Second, actual rent. Okay. Received or receivable. Now check what do we here. Obviously, we don't have anything, any case over here of SOP. He has given it on rent for 12,000. We'll take for the entire. Now, but did you realize now you have both the cases? You have vacancy loss also of 1 month and you have unrealized rent also of 2 months. This was the very important case or a good case. You can give a little bit of star mark here. 1 star mark is okay for this question. There are both the cases, not two, 3 cases. Part SOP, part let out. You have unrealized rent also. You have vacancy loss also. Okay. We'll take calculation for the first for the entire year. Yes, and then we'll keep on reducing. Okay, write down. So 12,000 into 12 months, 144. So first figure. Fine, Ilya. What do we reduce now first? This I've already told you. The sequence I've told you. What will I reduce first? Vacancy loss or unrealized rent? Unrealized rent. Unrealized rent. Unrealized rent is of 2 months. Okay. It comes to 24,000. Okay, so 120 again. Is 120 still more than 110? Yes. Now what will I reduce? Vacancy losses of only 1 month. Now step 2 is lower than step 1 because of vacancy loss. Agreed? Step 1, 1,10,000. Step 2, 1,08,000. But it is lower because mainly because of vacancy loss. Okay. Since 2 is lower due to vacancy loss. So my GAV is बच्चों 1,08,000. Fine till here, all of you. Next, what we have to do? Let's municipal taxes paid. Municipal taxes paid. How much it is paid? 10% of municipal valuation. No, again, other adjustment also. Municipal valuation is 4 lakhs. So for the property, it is 40,000. Now we'll again apportion it. Right, everybody? Everything is apportioned, no? So 10,000 here we have to reduce. Simple. That is your NAV. Less, chalo, reduction under section 24. A is what? Standard reduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. Correct? So give me this figure. 29,400. Is it right? 29,400. All right. And B, interest on borrowed capital. Interest on borrowed capital. A loan of 30 lakhs was taken during the year 20. 1,48,000. Okay. Total is what? So 1,48,000. Into 3,4 into 1,4, 1/4. Because interest on borrowed capital is allowed for SOP, no? Interest on borrowed capital is allowed for SOP, isn't it? Give me the figure. Is it 111 and 37? Is it right? Okay. This one. So, and this is profit. Okay. Therefore, total income oblique loss from HP. Loss, no? 79,400. Yes, Celia? All of you? 79,400. Okay. बहुत अच्छे अच्छे क्वेश्चन मेरे पास करवाने के लिए, बट प्रोवाइडेड तुम लोग रिवीजन अच्छे से करो, क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, मतलब व्हाट हैपेंस कि जब लेवल बढ़ जाता है क्वेश्चंस के, फिर तुम्हारा कॉन्फिडेंस लूज होना चालू हो जाता है, थोड़ा सा इशू हो जाता है। तो उसके लिए तुम्हारा बेसिक्स जो हो चुका है उसको स्ट्रांगली करना चाहिए। प्रैक्टिस करो ना, बाद में एक बार क्लास होने के बाद एटलीस्ट नोटबुक टेक्स्ट बुक तो खोलो, फिर से उसको रफ में ट्राई करो वही क्वेश्चन को, अगर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आ रहा है तो। ओके, ठीक है, टेक अ ब्रेक बच्चों। 20, लेट्स मीट एट 20 हो जाए, चलो ठीक है, 20 to 20 ज्यादा ब्रेक हो जाएगा। ठीक है, टेक अ ब्रेक, टेक अ किट कैट. Let's start. आगे सब लोग. Okay. बढ़ेगा आगे. हो गया ब्रेक वेक. All of you okay? Can you go ahead? Let's start. Okay, let's go to next question, everybody. Question number 25. Okay, ready, everybody? 25. Sure. Mr. Vikas owns HP, whose municipal valuation, fair rent, and standard rent are given to you for the year. During the current year 22-23, 1/3 of the portion was let out. 1/3 was let out. So obviously remaining 2/3 is what? SOP. है ना? For a monthly rent of just 5,000 rupees. Okay. The remaining 2/3 is SOP. Municipal taxes 11% of municipal value was paid during the year. So it is assumed he has paid it. Okay, no problem. The construction of the house began in June 15, construction, and was completed on 31st May 21. Okay. Vikas took a loan of 1 lakh on 1/7/15. Fine deal. The construction started on June 15. Loan he has taken in July 15. For the construction purpose, no problem. He paid interest on loan at 12% per annum and was paid annually. All right, that is also okay. The loan is not yet repaid. What do you mean by that? They're telling you he's paying interest, but then they are saying loan is not yet repaid. What do you mean by that? Loan is not yet repaid. Everybody, tell me. The loan is not yet repaid means what? That means the entire principal amount is outstanding. He's paying only towards the interest, but nothing yet paid towards the principal. Okay, how much was the loan? 1 lakh. So entire 1 lakh is pending. Compute income from house property of Vikas for AY 23-24. Ready? All of you? All right, let's start, everybody. Computation of income of house property. Of Vikas for AY 23-24. Ready? Particulars. Now will we make again 2 columns? Yes, one for SOP and one for let out. है ना? 1/3 is let out, so 2/3 is बच्चों SOP. Find it. All right. Let's start. Chalo. What do we do always first? What's your GAV calculation, isn't it? So GAV calculation. First part, you want what? Expected rent. We know what is expected rent. Higher of municipal valuation or fair rent, but subject to standard rent. Yes, all of you? Ready? We'll go ahead, everybody. Chalo. The figures are given to you. Higher of Municipal valuation is how much? Everything is given in the first sentence. Municipal valuation 96,000. Fair rent 1,26,000. So 1,26,000. But lower of 1,26,000 or what बच्चों? 1,08,000 है ना? So lower is 1,08,000. So therefore ER expected rent is how much? 1,08,000. Nothing for SOP. So we'll do apportionment for let out. How much is this? 1,08,000 divided by 3. 36,000 is it? Tell me all of you. Fine. All right. Second step, what do we have? Actual rent. Nothing obviously for SOP. And the remaining was given on rent for 5,000 rupees per month. No case of unrealized rent, no case of vacancy loan, nothing. So I'm taking here 60,000 rupees. Yes, Celia? $5,000 into 12 months. Done. Therefore, GAV is obviously whichever is highest, 60,000. Less what? Municipal taxes paid during the year. Again, we don't allow for SOP. How much is he paid? But municipal taxes 11%. So I'm writing your figure. 11% of municipal valuation, obviously, is how much? Before apportionment. $10,560. And here I'll do 10,560 into 1 by 3. Okay, divide by 3. 3,520. Okay, all of you, all fine till here. I hope you're with me. All right. What do we arrive at? NAV. NAV for SOP is always nil. 60,000 minus 3,520 is what? 56,780. 56,480. Fine. Less reduction under section 24. And 24. 24A, you know it is what? Standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. 56,480 into 30% is how much? 69,444. Tell me, is it correct? Confirm once. All right, good. All right, let's go ahead, everybody. And B is what? Interest on borrowed capital. Do we have anything here? Yes, we have. Interest on borrowed capital. Do you see something interesting in the question? Tell me. That the numbers are not directly given to you. But construction began in 15, was completed in 21. Okay. So what can happen in the current year? What's something we should also be careful? I did not calculate, Niraj. I'm just copying from my notebook. I already have the answers. What concept will also come into picture for interest on borrowed capital for this case? Current year is there. 1 lakh rupees is the loan, 12%. So current year is 12,000 rupees is there. Apart from that, what? We will also have the bacho pre-construction period interest. Ceiling limit will also be there. But pre-construction. Are you all understanding here? No. So to add both of them, pre-construction, that figure we'll have to calculate. Take 1/5. That is pre-construction. And then current year. And then after the total of that, we will see the ceiling limits. We'll have to again apportion that also, na? Are you getting my point? So write down. Working note 1. Okay, everybody. And then again, whatever after that we have, will be income oblique loss from house property. Fine till here, working note. And then again, total, we are just like leave one line. Total income oblique loss. For house property, give some to leave 2 lines. Okay, and then working notes. First one. Current is very easy to do. Will be doing bacho first pre-construction interest. Right, Elia? For that, what do we need to require bacho? Pre-construction period we require. I hope you're understanding. I'm not directly jumping on the questions. I always do the concept. Then we are doing some conceptual questions only to clear the concept. And then these questions are mixed, right? Chalo. From. You'll tell me the theory also and you'll tell me the dates also. You can unmute. From what date or from what concept, bacho? June 15 or July 15?
Sir, from to earlier of date of complete repayment.
From, I want first from date. Beginning from starting date of the pre-construction period. What is the law?
Sir, 31st March 2021.
What is the law, bacho? Date of loan or date of disbursement of loan, correct? To earlier of. You guys are not revising. Earlier of.
Completion of construction or before 31st March.
Loan repayment date. Is there loan repayment date, but not applicable? Loan is not yet repaid. They have given you clearly. Or B. 31st March. Khushbu, okay till here? Preceding bacho what? Construction completion date. Give me the answer for this point. Answer, a final answer for this point. Indrajit, what is wrong with you? I don't understand. You're not reading the question also then properly. Nitin, Khushbu, Mansi, answer. Correct, Nitin. Khushbu, Mansi. Correct. March 31st, 21. Correct earlier, all of you? Because construction was completed on 31st May 21. So 31st March before that. Clear? Calculate the period now. Therefore, period is how many months and all. Now check, pay attention, pay attention. You want July onwards? Understand, it's very simple calculation I'm telling you. You want July onwards, na? After July or from July. So how many months you don't want? April, May, June. You don't want 3 months. That is easier to calculate. Are you getting my point? Are haan ya na? So 9 months you want of 15, 16. Financially 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oops. Whatever, na? 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. No problem. 5 years and 9 months. Clear till all of you? 9, no? April, May, June you don't want. You want from July. 1st July you want, no? That's now I told you. April, May, June you don't want. So 3 months you don't want out of 12 months. So 9 months will be there. Everybody okay till here? Or you can take it as 5.75 years if you want. You know? If at all you want. That is 5.75 years. Easy to calculate. Now can you calculate pre-construction period interest? Loan amount is rupees 1 lakh. Rate of interest is 12% into 5.75 years. Give me this figure. Okay, 69,000 correct. Will we allow it all 69,000 though? Therefore, 1/5 of rupees 69,000. That is how much bacho rupees? Take it, do it, divide by 5. 13,800 is it? Will be allowed, correct. From which PY? What is the law? From which PY? The year in which construction got completed. When was the construction completed? Bacho. 31st May 21. That is which year? PY 21, 22. 2. So PY 21, 22, not 22. 23, 24, 25, 26. 25, 26. Agreed? Done till all of you? So obviously in the current year I'm getting 13,800 as pre-construction. And obviously also what do we have, bacho? Our current year interest. Hai na? Second. Current year interest, bacho, will be what? Again, rupees 1 lakh into 12%. That's it. Because entire principal is pending. So rupees 12,000. Correct, Ilya? Therefore, write down. Deduction under section 24B. 13,800 belonging from pre-construction and 12,000 bacho belonging from current year. Rupees 25,800. Yes, clear all of you? Just for the sake of time pass. Time pass. So I'm getting, so whatever figure, if your number is less than 30,000, 30, less than 30,000, no problem, because ceiling limit is 30,000 or 2 lakhs now. So it is already lower than the lower limit also. It is lower than 30,000 also. So we'll allow 25,800. But extra question over here, I want to ask you, what is the actual ceiling limit applicable for SOP? Because there is no ceiling limits for let out. 2 lakhs or 30,000. You have to justify. Is the loan taken after 1/4/1999? Yes. Property is SOP? Yes. It is for construction? Yes. Is the construction complete within 5 years of the end of the financial year in which loan was borrowed? That I have to check. That was my actually concern. When did you take the loan, bacho? 1/7/15. Pay attention. Correct, Ilya? So financial year ending date is what? 31/3/16. From there, plus 5 years, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 31st March 2021. When is the construction actually completed? 31st May 21. What is your answer? Are you getting the point? Please tell me this. Or is it going bouncer or what? Give me some feedback. I'm not confident actually now about your understanding. Okay, so these are different concepts. Right now I'm talking of ceiling limit. I'm talking of ceiling. How do you calculate or check ceiling limit? If bacho, by chance this figure was 50,000, 50 or 80,000, we would have to check ceiling limit. Are you getting my point? When that additional work will be there. Nitin, understood or no? Ask Nitin. If you have doubt, ask. Indrajit, Mansi, understood? Right now, the deduction rate is coming lower, okay? Lower than 30,000. So that's why there is no much worry. No problem. Okay? No. Nitin, there are two concepts. Understand, Nitin. This is your pre-construction period. Okay? This starts from this date till 31st March before construction completion date. So that is one concept. Don't write down ceiling limit. To check ceiling limit, That is one of the condition or law. Check that diagram. Ceiling limit. If you want 2 lakhs, then all those conditions should be satisfied. If the condition is not satisfied, then you'll get a ceiling limit of 30,000. And one of that is what, Nitin? Acquisition or construction is completed within 5 years from the end of the financial year in which loan was borrowed. Now tell me, what was the date of borrowing of loan? 1st July something, na 15. Correct? That is date of loan. Date of loan. But check 5 years from here? No. 5 years from the end of the financial year in which loan was taken. The loan was taken 15-16. So what is the end of the financial year 15-16? 31st March 16. From here you will take 5 years. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And actually in our case, the construction was completed on 31st something May 21. That is after this date. Condition is satisfied? No, condition is not satisfied. That's why, but so as this is not satisfied, our ceiling limit will go to 30,000. This was an extra question, or again a kind of revision. Clear till here? I'm doing more than required actually, you know? But purposely I'm taking both the concept, pre-concession and this 5 years, because in both the cases, bacho, there are different rules, different laws. Okay, chalo. So what is my answer? I'm allowed for the year how much? 25,800, isn't it, bacho? This is for the entire property, don't forget. That I will apportion now. Correct? Is it 17,200 and 8,600? Tell me, is it right? So SOP 17,200 and let out bacho. Give me figure. I hope, yeah, it is positive profit only. $30,936. Is it right, all of you? Tell me. Loss 17,200, but profit is 30,936. So positive profit is 13,736. Is it right, all of you? Tell me, okay. I hope you realize that we are going in now in kind of advanced questions, you know? Let's go ahead, everybody. You have some star mark here. 2 stars. Give 2 stars. Good question. It is. Stars basically when you will have to revise some tough questions of house property. 1 star means you should check it. 2 star you should be, I mean, you should definitely check it. And in fact, practice it also. Done? Let's start. Okay, question number 22. Question number 22. Ready, everybody? X has a house property in Delhi, which consists of 2 units. A house, okay? That means 1 property, but having 2 partitions. Unit A 60% has 60% floor area. So of the entire house, 60% is in unit A, part A, you can say. So, and unit B therefore has 40%. So this ratio you got now, 60-40. Okay. Done till here? 3:2, no? Unit A was SOP for, understand now. Unit A was SOP by owner for 8 months. Correct, Elia? And with effect from 1/12/20, I think it was for the year. Just a minute. Huh? It is 23, but 22, no? Current year only. 1/12/22, you're right. 1/12/22. it was let out for 10,000 rupees per month. Check out, unit A. First of all, unit A. 8 months it was SOP and 4 months it is let out. Clearly here? Unit B was also meant for SOP, but it was let out with effect from 1/10/22 from October. 6 months. That is 8,000 rupees per month. The other particulars, basically, please understand. There are two parts of the house, but both the parts were SOP also and both the parts were let out also. Clear, everybody? Okay. Municipal taxes paid, insurance paid, municipal taxes paid for the house, insurance paid of no use to us. Interest on money borrowed, 20,000, that also we can do. Now tell me, bacho, understand. Assuming expected rent is rupees 1 lakh for the house. Okay, that we will see compute income from HP for AY 23-24. Forget about partition. Understand, okay? Forget about party unit A, unit B. Forget it right now. There is a house, only one house. The house was entirely SOP for some months, and the entire house was also let out for some months. What happens? Have you done that case? Part of the year SOP, part of the year let out. What happens? We assume it as what? How do we calculate it? We take the entire house as what? Let out. Very good, Mansi. We take the entire house as let out for the entire year. We take the entire house, bacho, as let out for the entire year. Expected rent for the entire year. Actual rent obviously will be low, now whatever you have actually received. Understood till here? Clear? Achha. That is one case. Pay attention. That was another case. Another case. A portion of the house is SOP and the portion of the house is let out. A portion of the house is SOP and the portion of the house is also let out. What do? We apportion. We apportion because it is SOP as well as let out. Both of it. So, bacho, now we are mixing the cases here. That means, bacho, if the property is SOP as well as let out, I'm talking about the same property, same property. It is SOP also as well as let out in the same year. We take it as let out for the entire year. So basically unit A and unit B. Now we have two units. Unit A and unit B will be what assumed as let out for the entire year. That means entire house property was let out for the entire year. Correct or wrong? Only difference will be in your actual rent, because rents are different. Normally speaking, it is let out, entire house is let out for 12 months. Okay. Only difference, but what we'll have to do is we have to apportion between unit A and unit B because the actual rent is different. Clear? Remaining all of the things will be exactly same. No difference. Okay, everybody? I hope all of you understood. This is your unit A and this is your unit B, for example. Okay. This is what? Let out and SOP. And this is also bacho let out and SOP. Correct, Ilya? I'll just give you the format and you can solve. I don't mind you solving, no problem. Okay. I'll just give you some notes first, write down that. X has 1 HP, one house property, which has 2 units. Hai na? Which has 2 units. Full stop. Both units were let out for part of the year and SOP for remaining part of the year. Fine till here, all of you? Therefore, calculation will be done. Therefore, calculation will be done as if both units were let out. As if what, bacho? Both units were let out, but what? For entire year, right? for entire year. Done till here, all of you? Tell me. Yes or no? Okay, we'll go ahead, everybody. So computation of income. (23-24) particulars. Unit A. Unit B. Unit A is how many percent? How much percentage? 60%. This is where 40%. Rupees. Now, is it a straightforward question? I hope so. I have now simplified the question for you, or in which way to go. Now you understand. Okay. Give me final figure of income from house property. All of you will calculate. Pen drive students, app, video app watching students from app also. Pause the video. Okay. Solve on your own and then confirm your answer. Okay. I want but all of you to solve income from house property. I'll give you some time. Remaining students can pause the video. Right? How you guys are solving? I want one single figure, but last figure of your income from house property. So हमारा आंसर अभी आया. Okay. I'll tell you sometime. Wait. Come on, solve, but all of you 22. One of the answers I got is 27,600. Others? Kushbu, Nathan, Indrajit. Okay. Okay. Indrajit, answer now. Your answer is remaining if you're there. Okay. That is the final answer, na? Income from house property. Okay, fine. These are some of the answers I got from, final answer of income from house property. All right. Let's check. Let's solve quickly. Fast. GAV calculation. Right? They're given what? They're not given you municipal valuation, fair and standard rent, assuming expected rent as rupees 1 lakh for the entire house. Okay. So 1 ER is rupees 1 lakh. So the 60,000 and 40,000. Step 2, actual rent. Unit A, but how much? Unit A, 10,000 per month for 8 months. Yes, everybody, I hope that is correct. No, not 8 months. 8 months is SOP. So from December till March, 4 months, 10,000. Okay. Khushbu and Mansi, your answers are correct. I just forgot to tell you. Unit B, 8,000, but from October to 6 months. Correct, Delia? But at 8,000. 48. So step 3, whichever is higher, GAV 60, 48. That is the only difference. But less municipal taxes paid will allow for both of them, but we'll just apportion. Municipal taxes paid figure have they given you 40,000, correct? Rupees 40,000. This is what 24,000 then allowed. Yes, everybody. And balance 16. Balance 16. Yes, everybody. What do we arrive at? NAV. Net annual value. 60 minus 24, 36. 48 minus 16, 32. Less reduction under section 24. A. Standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. Thank you. 10,800 and 9,600. No problem. And B, any kind of adjustment in an interest on borrowed capital, nothing. No complication there, no? Indrajit, what did you do like this? How you got that figure? So 12 and 8. You took rent for the entire year or something like that? Actual rent? It is to be assumed that this let out for the entire year. The category is let out. Now, what is the impact of category being let out? There is no ceiling limit on interest and deduction. Actual rent, how can you take more than 4 months? Understand that? Expected rent, I could have told you. We have taken expected rent, I think. It is given to you for the entire year. 1 lakh. Yes or no? Okay. Income of oblique loss from HP. No problem. That's okay. 13,200. Positive, I think, and 14,400. Nathan, what mistake you did? This comes to what? 27,600, correct? Bifurcation of 20,000. Acha, interest and borrowed capital you took only for what? Both of them, that is the reason. They are now, both of them are obviously, we take, even if it is SOP or let out, we bifurcate for both. Whenever B is allowed for both the properties, all the properties, SOP as well as let out. Okay. And maybe ratio was wrong. You took 20,000 for both. No problem. That was for the house. All these figures are for the house. No? Ulrich. One more. Okay, everybody. I am not satisfied till we do some good level questions and then you are also confident. You know? Come on. 23. Next one. I think this practice is okay. What we are doing. Obviously, when I mean for advanced questions, I'll read the question, I'll explain it, I'll give you the format also, but I want you to do it. Because you will make mistakes, you will understand. And wherever you make mistakes, make a star mark by pen or red pen or pencil, whatever. That you did the mistake over here. You know? Learn from your mistakes. Okay, 23. Ready? Obviously, I'll give one or two questions later on that entirely you will solve. I'll not even discuss. No format, nothing. You will do it on your own later on. But okay, sure. X has two properties now. Oh, situated in Delhi itself, two properties. Understand now. Property A is SOP for first 6 months. That is from 1st April, first 6 months. So 1st April 22 to 30th September 22. And with from 1st October, it is let out at the rent of rupees 10,000 per month. 6 months. 6 months SOP, 6 months let out. Assumed, deemed to be, deemed, not deemed. It is a let out property for entire year. Basically, we will allow municipal taxes, etc. You know? And there will be no ceiling limit. Property B is let out from one let out. First year it is let out 1/4/22 at the rent of 12,000 per month, and from with effect from 1st October 22, it was SOP. So even there is a different property B. Again, that is let out also and SOP also. So let out for the entire year. Okay. As it was shifted, as it was self-occupied, as he shifted his residence from property A to property B. Understood? Property A was first SOP, and then he shifted to property B. That's why property B is SOP later on. Expected rent of both the houses is rupees 1 lakh each. So MV, FR, SR, expected rent is given to you. Actual rent is also given to you of six months. I hope you know. The details of the above two properties are property A, property B, not so tough question actually. Computed income from HP for the previous and 31st March 23. Obviously, you will be solving this. I'm just writing property and property B, nothing else. Computation of. They are different properties, okay? Rains are not stopping only, no? Feels like the city will be underwater only now. Solve it. Start. Enter students also, app students also. Pause the video, solve on your own. Okay. Maunika Rani. Okay, Maunika. Just be regular, Maunika. Where are you from? Which city, Maunika? I'm already getting answers from you. Let us go what property wise. Only even if one property you give me, that is okay. Just for the trial, huh? Just for the sake of trial. Property A, give me answers for property A, those who have calculated. And please, I'm telling you, I'm giving you time. You are not in nursery KG now. It is not a race. It is not a competition. So take your time. I'm giving you time. Solve on your own. Okay. Give me property A after you are confident. Okay, fine. And property B what 9. Okay. I will not disclose it is correct or wrong. Okay. Just give me your answers. Give for both. No problem. A also, B also. Be careful. But just be careful and you can again recheck your answer if you want. Okay, Monica. Which city are you from, Monica? And join our Telegram channel, okay? So that will be updated. Others, I'm waiting for your answers. Telegram channel का नाम क्या है? नीरज बी महाजन. And I think I had given you link of my Telegram channel on WhatsApp group. Monica, which city you're from? नहीं है. अच्छा ठीक है. I'll send again. Okay. No problem. Okay, fine. Some answers are like this. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Okay, good. Fine. You'll go ahead. Good, good, good. I'm happy now. Okay, so see some of the answers I got. Yeah, I got it. For property and property. Okay. Let's go ahead, everybody. Let's check it out. Chalo, quickly. So again, we are going to do what to what? GAV calculation. Yes. GAV calculation. First one. Expected rent is but already given to you. Okay. Expected rent is already given to you. Where were we? 22, no? 23. Huh? Here. Is 1 lakh each. All right. So 1 lakh each. But actual rent for both the properties are only for 6 months. No doubt about it. Correct, Ilya? Actual rent for property is 6 months, 10,000, 60,000. Okay. I'm writing at 10,000. 6 months. And here the property B was, I think, 12,000, right? That is also for 6 months. 72. But useless, needless, because in both the cases, the given amount of 1 lakh is GAV. Therefore, GAV is whichever is higher, 1 lakh. Yes, all of you. Let's go ahead, all of you. Both are letter. I mean, we are allowing municipal taxes, no, bacho? So municipal taxes, what, 30 and 24? Figures are given to you. Okay, 30 and 24. What do you arrive at, bacho? NAV, net asset value. Net, sorry, annual value, not asset. 70 and 76. Just a minute. Each is written, no? Each. One word here and there. Answer goes for a toss. Each was given to you. Textbook is there in front of you. You're not even looking from PDF file now. Hai na? Less. Correct? No. Deduction under section 24. A. Standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. 21,000. 7 3 is 21, no? And 76,000 into 20, sorry, into 30% is 76, sorry. This is 22,800. Fine. And B, interest on borrowed capital. Yes, still here, all of you? Interest on borrowed capital, 35 and 40. The figures are given to you separately. All right, all of you. Anything else? Nothing else. It was not at all a tough question. Yeah, not at all. Income oblique loss from HP. First one is 14,000, is it? And second one, 13,200. Correct? Good. Nitin got the correct answer and Mansi also. Hai na? Good. I'm telling you, don't take tax lightly, but I'm telling you again and again and again. Municipal tax I have taken a 30 and 24. What is the problem with that? It is given here. So why will not take? Therefore, total income of from HP is 14,000 plus 13,200, 27,200. Fantastic. I have told you this in the very beginning itself. One of the toughest subject for intergroup one is Bacho tax. Toughest means it is biggest, very vast, very huge. It is not that tough to understand comparatively when I compare that with costing. Okay. But the problem is what? It is huge, it is vast. So to revise it on a regular basis, so much regularly that the concept should be very much strong in your head, isn't it? All right, all of you. Oh, that YouTube, this you have no video over there. Also, I've given the link in the current video right now. Okay, when we are live on YouTube right now. Is it done? Any homework for you? Should I give you? I don't like giving homework actually. But 20. Yes, I want you to try. Yes, I want you to try. 27. Chalega na? Is it okay? Good. Homework means I want you to try in the rough, whatever it is. Okay. Fine, tell you all of you. It is a very lengthy question, but I am hoping you will revise at least on basis of that. Right? Okay. Who all is online? Okay, everybody. And I hope you're ready for the test also. No? Okay. That's it for tax for today, everybody. All right. 11:30, we'll start with law. Chalega? Take 15 minutes break. Okay, bachcho. See you later. Bye-bye. मैं बोला टेस्ट है ना लॉ का टेस्ट लेंगे ना अपन यार क्यों नहीं लेंगे लेना पड़ेगा वी शुड टेक द टेस्ट ना isn't it